Hey YouTubers, it's me, Mustin07, coming at you once again through the power of OBS Recording Studios. And in this video, I'm going to be starting a new series called Blender Basics, where we just go through and I show you how to make various objects and items in Blender. And for the first episode of this series, I'm going to be showing you how to make a basic train wheel set in Blender. And it's going to be a steam locomotive wheel. So, I guess we should get started. So first what we want to do is we want to delete the cube because we won't be needing it. And in order to make an effective looking steam locomotive wheel, it's best that you use a template or background of blueprints, one of those. I'm just going to go to add, go to image, then go to background. You can select any image from your computer in order to be the background. And in my case, I selected this, which is an O-class engine. It's from Eastern Europe, and I'm intending to model it because I intend to add it into immersive railroading as my own little add-on. Now we want to go to add again and add a mesh, and we're going to want to add a cylinder. And of course, because it's the wrong orientation, we're just gonna rotate it 90 degrees. There you go. And you want the scale to be half of what the diameter of the wheel of the engine you're trying to model is. For example, the O-class engine has a wheel diameter of about 1.2 meters, so we would want to do 0.6 meters because 0.6 is half of that. And for this, because this is z-axis and its thickness, like this is a bit too thick, so we're just gonna change it to 0.09. There we go. Now we have this cylinder, which is the start of the wheel. But this locomotive blueprint is not up to scale. So what I recommend doing is going into wireframe, selecting your background image, dragging it up, and then just move it until it's roughly where you want it to be. It's okay if it's like not totally perfect, but try your best to make sure that it's perfect. Like this, I think this is the best I can do. So there we have it. Then what we want to do is we're going to want to go back to viewport shading and then hit tab. So that way we're in edit mode now. And now in edit mode we want to go to face select, which is that key. Then we want to hit shift on both sides of these faces. Then hit the I key to inset. So then we have this little menu, and I recommend going 0.67, somewhere around there. Because if you go to wireframe, you can see it's kind of roughly on the middle part, which is what we want. Then what we want to do is we just want to click out of that, then hit Control R, create a loop cut, move the loop cut to right about here so that way you can make the outer rim of the wheel. Make sure it's roughly at the right place, something like that. Then what you want to do is you want to do it on the other side as well. Somewhere like right there. There. And now I found the best way to get rid of the faces is to do that. Right click and hit delete edges and it'll disappear them. And there you have it. We now have this wheel, but it's not exactly very good looking yet because it's hollow in here. And it doesn't have any faces in through here, but that's something that we will work on. However, this is the end of this short little Blender Basics episode, so stay tuned for the next one where we add the faces and the spokes and everything. So stay tuned for more videos, and goodbye. Hey YouTubers, it's me, Mustin07, coming at you once again through the power of OBS Recording Studios, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to put the faces on the wheel so it doesn't look like this weird hollow thing. I'd recommend checking out the last video where I showed you guys how to get a wheel that looks like this, so if you haven't already, check it out. Now that I've gotten all the guys that know what they're doing here, I guess we should start. So to do that, I'd recommend going into wireframe, which is this little button here. Then just hit select and then the letter F, and there should be a little face there now. So I'm just going to do that because this can take a little while, so I'll check back with you once I do that. So I just finished putting all the faces on this inner wheel right here, but still, we have this part right here to do. So we better get to it. Same basic idea, you just hit the F key. Okay, so I just finished putting all the faces on the wheel, so we'll just go back into viewport shading mode, and as you can see, it looks a little less weird, but still, there's just a cylinder that's floating around right here and an outer rim, and they seem to be defying the laws of physics, which of course we kind of don't want, because I'm trying to make this as realistic as possible. But don't worry, because in the next episode of Blender Basics, I'll show you how to add the spokes and all the other fun stuff onto the wheel. So, thanks for watching, stay tuned for more videos, and goodbye. Hey YouTubers, it's me, Mustano7, coming at you once again through the power of OBS Recording Studios, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make the side rod attachment and spokes of a wheel in Blender. So this is assuming that you've watched all the other parts of this series, so you can check them out right now. But first, you gotta make sure you're in object mode for some of the parts of this project. First, I recommend just starting with a rectangular prism like this, and then you can enlarge it as you need to. So I'll just align it just as I need to. And you gotta align it so that way it looks like a spoke, like so. However, this is not done yet, because we can make it a little more detailed. To make it more detailed, you first are going to want to go to edit mode, and then to face select. Then you're going to want to make a loop cut. So hit Ctrl R and get this thing and drag it up to about right here. And then make another loop cut, drag it to about right here. Then you're going to want to go into wire mode, because that makes it easier. And then go into edge select and move these out a little bit, something like this, and just go through and do that to all the different corners, so that way it looks as realistic as possible. I recommend going back into viewport shading and then just hitting A to select the whole thing, and then hit Ctrl B to bevel it, and then you can change it around and try and make it high or high as low poly as you want it to be. I'll just go with something like this because it looks about right to me. Then you want to hit the spin tool right here, and you'll get this menu that pops up. Hit the plus sign and you'll get a bunch of these, and from there you want to rotate it as needed. As you can see, every time I move these numbers and modify them, the position and orientation of these changes. So you just want to do that. And then you can change the number of these, you know, so you can have as many or little as you want. I'm just going to go with, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to go with 12, which is the default. But yeah, here you go. You now have your spokes on your wheel. So you can then go back into object mode, and now we're going to add the side rod attachment. So to do that, I'd recommend going here and adding a cylinder. Then you pull it out like that. It's not done yet though. There's still a lot to do with this. So pull it up and you can scale it, make it the way you want it to go. Just move it like somewhere like right here, because this is where the side rod attachment on these locomotives usually is. And try to align it with the side rod on your blueprint, which for me is about right here. So try to make it where it would kind of be in real life. Then just scale it like this to try and get it as close as you can. And now there's one more thing to do. We want to now connect this to try and make it look like one. So what I found to be the best way to do that is you take your little vertices or corners right here and you drag them down and just do that with each of them. There. Now that we've done that and got that taken care of, we want to now add another cylinder up here so that way it can look like the piece where the side rod is linked to the wheel. So we'll just do that, and we'll just scale it and stuff as we need to. And once we've done that, we want to go back into edit mode and hit Control B. And now that we have the bevel option pulled up, we can now just modify this to what we want it to be. Then we can close out of that, go back to object mode, and here we have our side rod attachment, and we're getting pretty close to finishing this wheel now, but not yet. But that just about does it for this video. Next time we're going to go over how to make the flanges and finish off the wheel set. But as always, stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Hey YouTubers, it's me, Mustano7, coming at you once again through the power of OBS Recording Studios. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make the finishing touches of your wheel set. This is assuming that you've seen the other parts of this series, so I'd recommend checking out all the other videos that talk about the wheel set making. But without further ado, let's just get started. So first we want to make the counterweight. A lot of steam locomotives, if you've noticed on the wheels, there's a little piece of metal that's just sort of right here, and you might not know what it is. Well, it is a counterweight, and it helps with the wheel movement. But to do that, you're just going to go here, and you're just going to take a cube and put it in sort of like this. And of course then you're going to want to go to transform and just enlarge it as you need to. Just widen it a little. Just like this. You want it to overlay the spokes so that way the spokes are not visible. So this looks about right to me. Then what you're going to want to do, you're just going to want to hit that so that way it's perfectly in the cardinal directions. Then what you want to do, you just want to bring it in a little and go to edit mode. And from there, because it'll make life easier, you want to go to wireframe so that way you can see all the parts of it. And from there, just drag it outward a little, sort of like this. Once you've done that, what you want to do is you want to go back into object mode and select this, and then do Control C, Control V, then go to mirror. And in this case, we want to mirror it across the Y global, so we'll do that. And there. Then we can just move it around a little, and there. We just got a little counterweight done for the wheel. Now, what we want to do is we want to go back into edit mode and go the face select, and from there we want to select the faces right here because we're going to make the flange of the wheel. To do that, you want to hit shift and then just start selecting all these faces. Then what you want to do is you want to hit the E key to extrude these parts. Something about right there, and you can always adjust it. And then what you want to do is you want to hit the S key so that you can get scale. Once you've gotten it to the right scale and gotten the height of the flange to where you want it to do, something you can do to make it more realistic and so that the edges aren't so unrealistically sharp, you then hit the E key again and extrude it a little bit. I'll just go about right there. We now have a wheel. We're going to go back into edit mode, hit A, select all, because we first need to move it so that way it's right thing. So hit G to grab, and then from there we now have this little menu popped up, and from there we can move it. So in this case, because we want it to be perfectly on the center. We want to move it half of what the width we want it to be is. In my case, I'm going to model it for the standard gauge, and the standard gauge is about 1,435 millimeters. But of course, this is a meter, so we want to move it half of 1.435 meters. We're just going to do 0.71 in here, and there we go. We moved it to about there. But now we need to copy the wheel over so that way we can have the two wheels right next to each other perfectly aligned. Then what we're going to want to do is we're going to go back into object mode, make sure we keep this all selected. Then what we want to do is we want to hit Shift and then D, so that way we can duplicate it. And as you can see right here, all that stuff is now duplicated. Then what you want to do is you want to right click on the one you have selected and go to mirror, and in our case we want to do X global. And there, now we have the two wheels that are perfectly next to each other. However, we need to rotate this one because the side rod piece is up here, and with steam locomotives usually they are quartered, meaning that for this side rod right here, if this one's right here, then this one would be about right here. So we need to do that now. We want to go back onto edit mode, make sure we have only this one selected. Then you want to hit R, so that way you can rotate it. So right about there. Then you'll just have to move it a little bit so that way it's aligned. So about right there. And now we need to put an axle between the two so that way we can finish the wheel set. So to do that, we'll just select that specific face, hit the I key to like inset it a little bit. I'm just gonna set it to right about there. Then we hit the E key to extrude it. There you have it. That is how to make a wheel set in Blender. So we'll just go back into object mode, and in order to connect it all as you want to, just hit the A key and then hit join, like so. So that way it is all one unit and will operate as one, as train wheel sets do. And you know, if you wanted to make all of the wheels, select your wheel. You can just select your wheel set right here, Control C and Control V. You can just move it around. There you have it. That is how you make a wheel set in Blender. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and goodbye.